Well, thanks everybody. And so Nicole, I've kind of said to you guys, Nicole's had a lot of success with a bunch of different clients, training people while they're away from her on Skype, and that's something I've never personally done, and I don't think anyone else on the call has either. And I doubt that it's not to, I doubt that it's that complicated, but certainly like different things like we're doing right now, like hey, what's the right position for the screen? Like how do you position the client? What do you tell them to bring with them? X, Y, or Z. I'm gonna kind of just turn it over to Nicole to kind of go through like the helpful hints and tips she has, and then let's obviously please ask whatever questions you guys have. Sound good?
Cool.
Thank you. So, you see a full screen, really see each other fully as we would if it went on one. And it's just a really see so much more behind the person, and you can see so much more of the person. So the position of, say, like their iPad, I mean, I even train people.
Are you guys having trouble hearing Nicole?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. Do it just phone. They'll just put it on their phone.
Hey, Nicole.
Yeah, we were.
Something
Hey,
from their smart TV.
Are you online?
Hey, Nicole.
Are you downloading anything?
Nicole, we're having a hard time. You're really delayed. One of the problems with using Skype, apparently.
So many technological advancements, and video chat is still.
I know.
Yeah, we were rolling.
You guys on?
We got to the meat of it. It was like, whoa.
You're back, Nicole. Yeah.
Okay, it froze. Yeah. So, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, so if somebody has like a smart TV, that's like the perfect position to be. Like, so if it's on a wall, if they have like a little ledge, a dresser, something, honestly, even like setting it on a couch. Catherine, she sets hers like right on top of her TV when I train her when she's out at her mother's house. Anywhere where I can see them fully and they can see me. It doesn't have to be none of this has to be complex. This is actually a very simple thing. And if the more complex you make it, the more frustrating you're going to make it. You know what I mean? It's not a complex thing. So basically, you just want to be able to see them, and you want them to be able to see you. As far as equipment is concerned, it depends on where the person is training. Take, for instance, I have people that, I have one girl who I train here, and when she goes to her mother's house, I'll train her at her mother's house on Skype. When she's there, and I use a lot of different things with her that I bring to her here, and she doesn't have all of that stuff with her at her mother's house. What she has at her mother's house is a stability ball, like 2 small sets of hand weights, and ankle weights. And I can do the exact same things with her with those amounts of, equipment that I can do with her when I'm in person with her. If they have small hand weights and you want them heavier, have them hold them both in their hands. You know what I mean? Bands are great, especially if somebody's like in a hotel room or something, because you can do drop sets with the bands. If you have somebody who has very little to no equipment, I mean, it would be just the same as you being in person with them. So if you had somebody that had no weights or just was able to bring like bands with them, if you have them do a set of push-ups, grab that band around, you have them do a set of flies with the bands, and there's your drop set. You know what I mean? Because you guys know as well as I do, form, you're 110% right. That is number one. But the other thing is we're trying to bring those muscles to fatigue. That's our goal. That's the only way we are going to get them to respond. You know what I mean? Not everybody is going to train so rigorously. You know what I mean? So some people, it's even easier. Take, for instance, somebody that wants more stretching, or somebody that wants more yoga. Somebody who has, I train this one woman. She's in Baltimore. She has a lot of issues. She has shoulder issues. She has knee issues. And just overall, she doesn't want an intense workout. That's not what her goal is. She just wants to be able to make sure that she's moving, make sure that she's working out somewhat so that she's keeping everything healthy. You know what I mean? So in that sense, with her, I mean, our warm up is as much as, just doing a little bit of stretching. Just doing a little bit of stretching, warming up the joints. We do such little weight that there's not really a big warm up that's needed. Like we do, if we do squats, the most she's holding in each hand is like 5 to 8 pounds. You know what I mean? That in itself is a warm up because you're not putting heavy weight on yourself. You know what I mean? So with her, I'll go through a circuit with her light weights. She really likes to work on her legs because she wants to work on her butt. You know what I mean? But so we'll go through a lot of leg exercises, which is great because, I mean, even a person who doesn't want to use heavy weights, you're using your body weight with legs. I mean, there's so many different things we can do. We do squats in various forms. So take for instance, I'll put her through a circuit. We'll go through just a full squat circuit to begin with. So we'll start 15 narrow, 15 with her feet wider, 15 with her feet wide. Then we'll go into 2 upper body exercises. Take a little bit of rest, stretch a little bit, go right back through that circuit. If you want, in a case like that, where you don't have a lot of equipment, your goal should be like doing an ab circuit. You know what I mean? So in between those circuits, you got your filler. Just to give the muscles a rest, your filler should be abs, whereas with some people, it will be cardio. Now, if I have a person that doesn't have a lot of equipment, see, I have a huge martial arts background, and I always stick that in with people. I stick it in with people, even like her, that are really, really want a lower impact workout, because you can still get the heart rate up with that. So if I want to get their cardio in and they have no equipment, I'll shoot a little bit of boxing in there. So, and I'll time it, 30-second clips. You know what I mean? We'll go, quarter squat, punch, punch, quarter squat, punch, punch, just to get the heart rate up. Simulating jump roping. It's so easy and light. So, basically it's just like what you have to do with what we're doing now. When we're going to see these people, it's not like we are training them at a gym where we know exactly what we have all the time. We have to, figure out what we have, what they have, what we can bring. And it's exactly the same thing. Exactly the same. And I always tell people, when I first signed people up with me for Skype, I told them, I said, I'm going to give you the exact same workout that I would face-to-face. Only thing I'm not doing is handing you the weights, which you should be grabbing anyways. It's part of the workout. You know what I mean? So
Nicole, so how do you do you ever encounter resistance to that? Like, with Farida, like, how do you overcome if someone is like, I don't know if it's for me?
I literally have never encountered that before. Never. There are some people that strictly want to see you face to face, and if that's the case, then fine. But I mean, other than that, I don't think there's ever been anybody that I've worked with. Most people that I have worked with have literally made it a point that, all right, Nicole, if I go away, we have to, let's schedule our sessions on Skype. I've trained people in hotel rooms, you name it, I've trained them there. Catherine, she goes to her mother's house. The other people I train, some of the people that I train do have equipment. So I train this one couple. They have an elliptical, they have a treadmill, they have one bench, and like 3 sets of weights. You know what I mean? So in that sense, I have a little bit more to work with, but it's still not that much. But I don't really, I haven't really had a lot of resistance. And if you do come across somebody that does give you a resistance, I know everybody doesn't want to give away something for free, but I always say, let's just try it. You know what I mean? I won't even charge you for it. If you like it, great, then we will continue on. It's worth it in the long run for you to give something for free one time to gain all of those other times. That's how I've always looked at it. So I always offer it.
Totally. And then we kind of missed a little bit about what you said in the beginning in terms of setup. I am not the most technologically advanced person. I guess a lot of smart TVs these days have Skype built into it where they could, that or their laptop, and you're just trying to get it so let me just see if I could even, you just got to get it far away enough where like you can see as much of them as possible?
Not necessarily, because what I'm seeing from you right now is very small compared to what it would look like if it was just me and you on here.
Ah.
With the groups, I only see you in a little box. When it's just me and one person, it's the whole computer. You can see everything, and they can see everything behind you. So always be careful you don't got a mess in the back of you. That's the one thing you got to be careful of. I always have my kids, I'm like, guys, don't walk behind me, please. So, but other than that, I mean, you really get a full view. And like I said, take for instance the one woman I train, I usually train her on FaceTime right on her phone. She sets her phone right pretty much level with where her TV is, and I can see her entire room from just that one little phone, and she can see me and my entire room.
Wow.
So it's not really, the position, the only time that you're going to be worried about your position is when you're trying to show them something that is lower than where you have it. So once in a while, like say if you wanted to show them something on the floor, where say you got to show them a push-up or a variation of a push-up, then you take the computer, set it on the ground right next to you, and they can see the full view right there. That's the only time you really have to worry about position. Other than that, I mean, you really don't even have to move it.
Cool. And would you recommend, like in the boxing example or whatever it may be, doing it right along with them, or?
I never do workouts with people. Never. I think it takes the focus off of what I'm trying to have them do. I can't correct their form as well. If I'm getting my heart rate up and myself all discombobulated, I can't really focus where I need to be focused. So I never do workouts with people. What I do is I don't know, nobody's ever complained about it, but they probably see me really close because I want to be close enough where I can watch their form. And I mean, like you guys were saying, you just, over and over and over again, even if they get sick of it, you just want to keep repeating yourself as far as the form is concerned. But you can see their form just as well through this as you could if they were standing in front of you. Cool. There's really not much that you can miss.
That's awesome.
If you think, as far as like squats are concerned, the knees are important with the squats, with the lunges. If you can't see what you want to see, you just tell them to turn to the side. It'd be the same as if you would walk around the side to watch that form. So, and like I said, it's really just the same. We're just through a computer,
That's cool. That's really, I mean, it's questions, it's more like at least for me, and you guys please chime in, it's more like these operational questions that I like. Training is training, but like how, that's really cool. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I guess not really so much yet, but I think you hit it on the head that it's going to be what's available in the, what new part of Skype can I use now? Like remaining right now, it's like I'm curious. But if I've been doing this, say, session like a year into it, and like I need to make sure that, I don't know, it's kind of like, do you see what I'm saying? Do you have a hint of what I'm saying, Nicole? Like, are
you talking about like just getting comfortable with it?
No, like when something new comes up in any app. Like, right, just recently, Instagram just put on now that you can do videos on Instagram. Yeah. Like, the functionality, what, are there any, like, how should I say, like, fringe things? Like, obviously, I know how to make a call on this. But are there some, like, really cool things that Skype does that I wouldn't even be able to make the question up right now because I haven't done a handful of sessions with Skype? And I wonder if I could do that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I use it just like I would use FaceTime. I don't really mess around with it too much just because, I mean, I don't know how you would mess around with it as far as like the training is concerned. You know what I mean? If they did have different ways to use it, I just don't know. I have no idea. Technology is not my strong point, not whatsoever. So the fact that I can do this with this, it's about as far as I'm going.
How about this, Joe? What do you envision right now doing with the QuickTime recordings?
For the purpose for me running it right now is that I know there are some people that couldn't make the call tonight that wanted to, so I'm gonna post it in Dropbox or somehow get it to them. But yeah, I mean, so Nicole, would you think that maybe bands would be the best tool you could if someone's on the road just for work or whatever in a hotel, other than their body weight, would some
I use a lot of different bands. Like, I don't use just the resistance bands. I use those little loops, which for the legs, I mean, they're phenomenal. There's not much you can't do with those things. And to get
like the little mini bands.
To use, yeah. 1 second, I'll show you. Hang on.
Yeah.
Cool.
Amy, does this sound something like you would do, or is it?
Yeah. I mean, I think it could be interesting. I would just be curious on, like, I guess, the value to, like, would we be able to charge the same? I don't know. I feel like there's something like that face-to-face, like in person, that, I don't know. Have you ever encountered that? Like, do clients,
Never.
like, what, really? Okay.
I mean,
I guess
think about it
it's
like this. There are people that will work out to a video that's pre-recorded.
That's
If
true.
I am giving you my time, I'm giving you my hour of time. I am sitting in front of you. I am watching your form. I'm putting you through every single step of the workout.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm not doing is handing you weights. That's it.
True.
If a person wants to be stretched, then you teach them how, and I tell people this too. Okay, there are some people that like to be stretched. Well, you know what? On your off days when you're not with me, you should be stretching yourself anyways.
Teach me how to fish.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, so there's bands, there's the other bands to do the assisted stretches. So if I stretch a person's hamstrings, you grab that band and you should be doing that on your own anyways. You know what I mean? So for me, as far as the value is concerned, it's exactly the same. It's my same hour. It's your same hour. And I'm still putting you through just as good of a workout as if we were face to face. Only thing is, I'm just not standing right there. You know what I mean? But we are still physically going through everything. One girl I just started working with, the results that she has gotten have been incredible. Absolutely incredible. We would not be where we are. And this week is only our 4th week. She did take before and after pictures. They're insane. But would not be there if it weren't for the Skype to be able to stay consistent, because she's gone to her mother's house. Within the 3 weeks that we have trained, she's gone there twice.
Yeah.
To miss that one day is so vital. If somebody is training, so as far as the value is concerned, and this is how I explain it to people too. You're signing up with me. You're committing to this training program. You have a goal. My goal is to get you to that goal. Not just for what you want, but for what you need. Your money this is what it's paying for. So if I'm telling you that I'm going to get you from point A to point B, but there's lag time in between, I can't promise you anything within that lag time.
Right.
I can promise you that we're probably going to lose more than we gain.
That's
so
good.
If I'm giving you a solution to this, and not only that, I'm making it easier, not just for my life, because it's still my same hour.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making it easier for you to be able to continue on no matter where you are.
Right. Yeah, Joe, that's actually interesting, because just before we hopped on, I got a text from Ann Davis, and she was like, hey, like, December's really crazy. I'm traveling so much. Like, could we pick back up after the holidays? So I think this would be an awesome idea to broach with her and just be like, hey, if you're worried about traveling a lot, like, and you don't want to, because she was making progress, and I feel like it's, 2 steps forward at this point, like 20 steps back. So just maybe suggest, like, hey, this is something that we offer. Like, if you're interested in that, then we can talk more about it and just see what she says.
That's great. And I really like, I don't know, Nicole, you say you haven't had resistance, and the way you just explained it, I don't blame you. I mean, you just sold it hard. I would feel like, hey, let's just like you said also, Nicole, let's just try it. Let's just try it. If you don't like it, you don't pay for it. So, your point that you just made, Nicole, was amazing. It's like, hey, all of our jobs to get to our goal. Would you take 2 weeks and 2 weeks wherever you are? That's tough. So, yeah, I think that's awesome.
Oh, I have a question. what do you do? Like, so I usually play music, or I'll bring music. Do you just have them put music on, or like, do you play it through?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I don't want them thinking about what they're doing at all.
Exactly. Crank the volume.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Cool.
Nicole, this is Suzanne. I have a question.
Yes.
And I am interested in finding out. So let's say you do. They're in a hotel room. You have them moving around, right, from standing to the floor to, let's say, putting a band somewhere behind the bathroom door, right? Now utilizing that to lock in the band or something to perform an exercise. And so you're constantly moving the phone or the iPad or the computer. Do you know of any sort of tool that the phone can be like, does anybody on the call know of any sort of tool that the phone can be, I don't know. I know there's tools that, like, the devices can be propped up, but propped up seemingly, like, let's say if they were standing in the hotel room and doing some band work, and the only thing closest, like, let's say they were utilizing a band that was knotted and put behind the bathroom door or something, and you have them performing exercises standing. To me, the only way for the phone or the device to be set would be on the floor. Is there anything else out there? Does anybody know of to, like, place the phone? I don't know.
Do you mean like keeping the phone sort of upright?
Yeah, like so that you could actually see.
Yeah, they have I forget what they're called. They're like little buttons almost that go on the back of the phone. It's like adhesive, and you can pop them out, and it's like a little. Just search like iPhone like phone
button adhesive
or something. Yeah,
cool.
Pop buttons. I forget.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's like a little accordion type thing. So you can pop it out and then it folds back in.
Oh,
Cool.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I don't have one, but I've seen them.
Yeah.
I can vouch for them.
I saw one last night actually for the first time. Is it even like
They're
a magnet?
cool.
Is it a magnet?
Yeah. I don't know, but I know, like, well, my husband has one, but I think he was just broke. But he would use it to, like, hold your phone. But it's designed to, like, have so you can stand your phone up and, like, watch video or something.
Great.
I would just use it so I don't drop it and, like, crack my screen.
Also
Excellent.
important.
Thank you.
And then, Nicole, do you ever do any stretching with towels in a hotel room or anything like that for your hamstrings, as you mentioned?
What's that?
Do you ever have clients in a hotel room that, like, you use the bath towels or anything like that?
You can. I mean, you can use those for stretching. I mean, the way I've done it in the hotel rooms, you know, if you're in a limited space, you have limited equipment, you know, like Susan was saying, you know, asking about, you know, having to move it from place to place. I construct the circuits in a situation like that where we're not going from standing to laying, you know what I mean? So we don't have to move it around a lot. So the resistance bands, usually there's a headboard on the bed. You wrap it around the headboard on the bed, which gives you the space next to the bed, which is usually where a table or something is, or the dresser, but it still gives you ample room. So from there, I try not to move too much. If I'm going to do a circuit where I go onto the ground, then I'll tend to do more than one thing down on the ground, so we're not up and down, and moving the thing around. You know what I mean? I just try to come up with it, you know, according to the space that we have, you know.
Awesome. What was I going to say? And then I feel like the first session or two, any sort of wonkiness that we may feel, you can
I don't want to say a little wonky. It's a little different, you know. Make sure that you have really, really good internet service. Make sure you have really good Wi-Fi, because sometimes you will have those lags. You know, it'll lag, or sometimes it will freeze. I mean, it's technology. You have to deal with it. It usually doesn't do it for long, but make sure that you have good internet.
Yeah.
You know, I have it happen from time to time. It catches up, but you just have to go through that motion. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's not a problem to the point where somebody would say, "Oh, it's too much. Let's not do this." You know what I mean? It just happens. And anybody who's familiar with technology, I've never had anybody say, "Well, this is just too much." You know?
Yeah.
So that would be probably the biggest. If there is any complication, that would be the biggest. Which isn't. It's not a big complication.
Cool. What was I gonna say? The first session or two, I would feel a little bit uncomfortable, but I feel like I don't want to say pass it off on the client, but they're gonna, like, it's gonna be, hey, I need you, Jackie, to get in X, Y, or Z position, and it's gonna be a little bit of feeling out on both people's ends, and hopefully they can understand that, and then once the camera's set up right, you flow, right? I mean,
I think that the more confident that you are as you're doing it, they're going to be just as comfortable as they are when you're in front of them. You know, every time I've done it, especially with a new person, I go right through it just like I would if they were in front of me. The more comfortable they see that you are, the more comfortable they're going to be, and then it just flows.
Yeah, I mean, even like your voice, you're commanding like that. I'm responding. So like, yeah. Cool. Well, does anybody else have any questions?
No, this is awesome. And I think coming at a perfect time because the girl that I mentioned to Joe earlier, she's been sort of like travels a lot and just like has sort of fallen off. And she really wants to, she says she wants to like get back into a routine, but it's really difficult for her. So I'm excited to try this out. I think she would be super open to it. And yeah, I mean, it's always great to keep clients. So
likewise,
Definitely.
Thank you very much.
Definitely.
As I
Thank you.
have somebody also that I just asked, so do you want to do a Skype call when you're out of town? And she said yes. So
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, if you guys have any other questions or whatever, I mean, you guys can always, I'm always around. I always have my phone on. So, any questions at all, I can answer any more questions as they come along. But, like I said, just be confident with it and, try to think about what they have so that you mentally prepare for the workout before they go away. Know what they have for equipment. That way you already have the workout constructed in your mind and it just flows. You know what I mean? That's the only thing that I prepare for. Before I start it with anybody, like Catherine, I asked her, okay, what are you going to have there? That way I knew, okay, this is what we're going to have. All right, so we'll do this, this, and this. This is the space that we're going to have. All right, I can do this. Probably can't do that. Probably shouldn't do that. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing.
Cool.
Very good.
Zach, anything from you?
I just could you know where we're at. Probably say the same thing Amy did with our potential client Alicia. She's a traveler as well, and we're trying to ring her in. And I know this would be beneficial for her. So, yeah, thank you so much, Nicole and Joe, for hosting and getting this all up. It's definitely valuable, and yeah, I'm excited.
Awesome.